side, and now the Canadians carry it in. Brady Martin throws it in behind, but the U.S. quickly on it. Martin back at the blue line. Flings it around behind the U.S. cage. On the far side, it's knocked back behind the U.S. net. Rayom after it. Kevon as well, and finally Hendricks settles things down. Gives to Rayom, and the Michigan Wolverine sends it all the way down. It goes off a Canadian stick, so no icing. Now Hendricks, penalty coming up here. We'll get it to the Canadian blue line and then make changes. Mo, first man in on the forecheck, forces the pass to the far side, but then it's kicked ahead. And now Canada in the neutral zone. Carbonneau feeds it to the near side. The Americans jump on it there. McKinney drops it back to the blue line, and now Bonsagi backhands it in from the red line, gives pursuit. He'll be the first man to it. Runs into the netminder. That's Joshua Ravensbergen. He's tending pipes for the Canadians today. Also a draft pick of the San Jose Sharks. What's the total number of first rounders on this Canadian roster?
The Canadian,
23, I think.
Yeah, the Canadian roster today, and they brought two teams and have players in and out of the lineup. But today there's 9 of the 13 forwards were first round, and the defense, it's 3 of the 7, and 1 of the 2 goaltenders. And when we say first round, some of them were even single-digit picks. Misa number 2, Martin number 5, Jake O'Brien.
Back into the Canadian end. On the wall, U.S. Mo gets it free. Now Rayom steps around one man, cuts back to the slot, and it's speared off his stick just as he goes to pull the trigger. And the Canadians, though, can't get out. Here's Mo in the slot, throws it on goal. And the same general manager, John Van Beesbroek, are using this to evaluate individuals. And so some guys have sent some of their big
names
went home.
Yeah. Cheaper flights on a weekday? I don't know. No hotel.
So a lot at stake for a lot of players here as they're trying to impress the USA hockey brass to earn a spot in this club and get a return trip. Most people don't want to come to Minnesota in December and January, but I bet you every guy on the ice here would love to be here at that time.
They'll give up their Christmas to come to Minnesota in December. That was a great look in that slot area for Mason Mo. Shot went just wide. He heads off. One of the 6 Minnesotans in this game.
Flip back in. Canadians, Reed plays it around to the far side. Danford tied up there, but he's able to get it back to Reed, and he'll reset behind the Canadian net. 8 feet. I think they would like to see things tighten up, and to this point, they have.
No question an improvement. They've kept from giving up scoring chances. They're not losing races for loose pucks and doing a very good job with passes in tight quarters.
Carbonneau ran over Fiddler in the center zone. U.S. now trying to gain control, but Ellick gets it across the line, but that's all the farther he goes as Versaghi took it away from him. Mo back in, puts on the brakes, tries to feed it across to Riker Lee, but it's tipped away from him, back out to center. Canadians get it across the line, but no further, delayed offside. Osborne points in just 28 games.
And they were loaded with good players, 2 grades up from him, and what he really stood out for was blazing speed. Against much older players, he oftentimes would be able to beat people with sheer speed. So no surprise to me when the national team came calling, and Kwasnick's doing very, very well.
Now Canada with a chance, driving in, and the shot's deflected in behind, as getting that opportunity for the Canadians was Malcolm Spence, draft pick of the New York Rangers. Best player on the far side, a little real estate, and finally the puck is dropped. Danford, good to see he's back out there after taking that big hit from McKinney in front of the U.S. bench. And now here comes Team USA. Cross center, Moore gets it across the line off a Horkoff skate. He has to chase it down. Comes back near the blue line. Osborne spins away from Carbonneau on his backhand. Plays it in deep.
Yeah, Canada's pretty tight. Stretch pass. They had two players. How these teams were giving up, what was it, 6, 7, 8 goals in those games. And what was it, 18? The two teams gave up 26, if my math and my memory serves. And, at the elite level world hockey, you're thinking the game might be more 3-2, not 6-4.
No doubt about it. Carbonneau, great pass, connects on the far side, driving the net, and then ends up in the net, and that's going to be a penalty. And now everybody follows in, and we'll see how this is sorted out. A couple of players end up wrestling on the ice, the linesman in there as well. And we'll see how they sort this out. In the Canadian zone, and Mooney can't win it, and the Canadians get the clear. Spence plays it over, but it's offside. Now they'll tag up as Kindle was in ahead of the play. Bednarik couldn't get through. U.S. has to regroup. Now Rayon tripped up. Kindle brings it back in, cutting right to the net. Beautiful move, and it's a tap-in tally at the side of the cage. A remarkable effort. Walking has now doubled their advantage, as it was Malcolm Spence on the back door.
Spence on the back door, and as you mentioned, he gets the goalie frozen, and then Spence tapping it in just a little 2-foot, and one of the American players misses the pickup on that.
And it's finally cleared out to center.
What a shift for the Canadians. There was a shot block. Protz gathered his own rebound, slid it over to Misa, and he quickly sent it down to the slot area. A good chance for them, and then they just continued the pressure. And what I was so impressed with is the players swapping places, making it hard for the U.S. to defend against this constant motion like a swirling blender. Great shift for the Canadians.
Now Muse backs to get it, plays it up the near boards. Spence couldn't get out. McKinney had it, lost it, and now it's clear to the U.S. line, broken up, quickly turned ahead. Moe across the line, drop pass, comes out over the blue line. Canada trying to jump on it, take advantage of this 3-on-2. Centering pass, and a great defensive play by Hendricks to hold his position and intercept that pass right at the goal line, and the U.S. then flag
to the left of Caleb Heil. So, Jim, spent a little time with the U.S. Women's Olympic team.
McKinney beat on the face-off draw. And Canada has possession. After it on the far side. O'Brien puts it down low. Spence trying to center. That's picked off. And Sagi plays it in, picks it up in the corner, tied up there, puts it in behind. Moe knocked off the puck by Ellick, and now Spence comes back at the U.S. blue line, holds onto it, drops it off, gets the return pass. Now he'll just shovel it in behind. O'Brien picks it up there, puts it in front. Rombach breaks that up. Canada, though, keeps it alive. Aitchison tries for the give and go, and that was blocked. As trying to come out in front was O'Brien. Canada starting to take over territorially here.
What a shift.
They could smell it.
What a shift. Muse had a good look.
Protz gets it back up high. Long shot, blocker save, rebound. Controlled by Canada. Kindle drops it back to the point. That shot wide. Now Protz puts it in behind. Ritchie centering pass just ripped wide. Great setup right on the doorstep for Kindle. But he couldn't get that one to go as he fired wide of the target. Still, the U.S. hung up in their own end.
Well,
it's in different situations to see how they respond. So when they get to those pressure-packed games of the World Juniors, big hit there on Hendricks as he got ran over on the near side by Spence and put a little extra polish on it. But Hendricks bounces right back up.
Yeah, nice physicality. I think there's a few players out there where you'd say they're trying to make sure the other team remembers that they came. And Bratz is one, and Spence with a big hit there.
Now going right to the net, and Jambino sends it in deep. Under 5 left in regulation. The U.S. trying to break through here and challenge the Canadians. Osborne plays it in. Kicked around the far side. Up the wall. Martin can't get out. Puck is missing. Score! Potter wires it.
In the end, that final push, the Canadians did a good job clearing the zone, won a couple races, and 2 empty netters make it 5-2.
So the conclusion of the summer showcase will end here at Ritter Arena. The next time these teams will be back out on the ice as Canada is really starting to rub a little.
It was the most impressive shift of passing we've seen from the Canadians at even strength. There's a quick pass, there's the give back, and O'Brien hammers that home. And tough one for Heil to give up because it seemed like he spent the last 5 minutes focused on, or 4 minutes getting off the ice, and put him back in, and a beautiful shot.
91 seconds left. So you look at what we have seen here, and we've both been impressed with Sweden and Finland. They by far were the class of this showcase. Canada, until today, had been pretty lax in the results from what we have seen from them. In the United States, they've been